Hey guys, alright, so I'm going to make a little comparison video of the lead 1, 2, and 3 vintage lead 1, 2, and 3 and the new lead 2 and 3 that I just got from Sweetwater. So alright, so this is the lead 1, and you can see this is lead 1 and it is 1981. I'll get this stupid thing to, there you go, 81, right, E1, 81. And this one's pretty much pristine, perfect shape, even down to the screws and nuts and everything. You see the nice contour on the body right there. You see that? So that didn't come in until late 80, early 81, somewhere in there. Some of the older ones, and I've got a bunch of older ones that, and the reason I like these guitars is because when I was 15, I got a lead 3 that you're not going to see here, but and I just, got older, got a little bit of money, and they weren't that super expensive, and I like them, so I collected a few of them. But anyways, if you see this this curve right here, I don't know if I have. Yeah, the lead 2, right. The lead 2 is an 80. So if you look at the lead 2, that is a 1980 lead 2, and it's all stocked down to the screws and everything. But if you look, the body is not nearly as contoured as the lead 1 from 81. You see that? So it's a lot thicker. It's a lot heavier too. These both are ash. I mean, yeah, they're both ash. And it's original pickups, original bridge. You see the screws at the back of the plate there, that was original, and a lot of these have the screws taken out and people put springs. This, my lead 1 over here, this one has the screws also. So these two guitars, 100% stock, original, and you can see, that's one difference you can see there. The backing plates on them, the plates are pretty thick. They have that plastic gasket behind there. This guitar is really heavy, actually, pretty heavy for me to hold up with one hand. I had some other bodies that were alder, and they're a little bit lighter, but I like the ash bodies. But here you can see, there you go, you can see that really good in that picture right there. So here's the lead 3, and the lead 3 is a 1981, and you can see a maple neck. I don't care for that as much as the rosewood necks, but you notice that's also got the nice contour there, and it's contoured in the back too, not just on the front. In the 81, when they put the contours in there, they really started, shaping these bodies. See, you can see that. Really nice, comfortable to play. And the other difference between these is lead 3. If you look at it, has the a wide. This area right here is wide compared to the lead 2, where it's very narrow. Screws are in a different position, and it's much more narrow. So it's a totally different pick guard, not just for the pickups, but the pick guard itself is a totally different shape. I've swapped a lot of them around. Lead 2 is routed for humbuckers, so I mean you could take a lead 3 pick guard and put it on a lead 2 if you wanted to. But if you took the lead 2 and put it on a lead 3, then of course you're going to have some screw holes hanging out there. So they're totally different pick guards. The switches in the lead 3 has 2 of the same switches. The lead 2, the switches are different. They're not the same. And I think the lead 1 also has 2 switches that are not the same. Matter of fact, I think this one might even be 2 position. Yeah, this bottom switch on the lead 1 is a 2 position switch. That's a 3. This has got 3 positions, and that's a single position there. When the lead 3 has 2 3-position switches. So I forget one of them's like 7211 is the number on the switch, and 7201 I think is the other number. But you know, so here's 3 good examples: lead 1, 2, 3, and so here next to it, this is the brand new lead 2, and I mean, I like it, you know. So I just start with that. I couldn't not buy it. You know, the bridge here, totally different bridge, but you know, it's probably a better bridge. You know, there's some issues with these bridges. You know, they're all mushed together. It's kind of hard. The string spacing's a little weird, and I don't know. The screws are hard to adjust, and blah blah. You know, all that kind of stuff. This one's a little more solid, it looks like. But you know, that when you start talking about bridges, you really got to look at how tight the screws are in the saddles and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't done any of that, so I mean, it looks better and it feels better, and the string spacing is more you know, exact between the strings, whereas this is maybe not quite as exact. I don't know if you can see between the 3rd and 4th string. You know, there's a larger, you know, gap, and you get over here on this one, and they're really much more evenly spaced, and you're straight up and down off of the pickups, which I think now in the original one it was straight up on the pickups too. But you can see the string spacing's a little better on this newer bridge, but like I said, you can't tell. I'd have to take it apart, which, you know, if anybody watches this video and I get a bunch of comments or whatever, then I'll be glad to take some of these apart and look at them a little better. But one thing I noticed is the lead 2 right here basically has that lead 3 pick guard rather than the lead 2 pick guard. And it's also, I'm getting ready to show you up here. I'll take you over to a brand new lead 3, which also has the same pick guard. So I think they use the same pick guard on the lead 3. Let's go ahead and show you that whole guitar. All right, lead 3. You know, these are made in Mexico, whereas the originals were, you know, USA made guitars. And, so, you know, but if you look on here, this pick guard seems to be cut much better. You know, it's there's a little gap on the sides, but at the top of the bridge, it's pretty tight there. But on this lead 2, you get this horrible gap. I mean, that looks terrible, right? So, you know, not too impressed with that. You know, and the reason is, if you look at it, the corners are curved, and this bridge that they put on here doesn't really fit in it. And it's like they took an original lead 3 bridge, or lead 3 pick guard, which would fit this bridge, and you see how that fits in there nice and tight. And you know, it's like they didn't modify it to fit the bridge. They just took that pick guard and shoved it over there. But for some reason on the lead 3, it ended up being a little bit better. I'm not convinced these are identical pick guards. So I've bought a bunch of pick guards aftermarket. WD Music, I think that's the name of them, or whatever. They have where you can buy them there. But they, you know, it's hit or miss on some of those as you go. You know, the neck wood, you know, it's koa, and seems nice. They did a really good job with the frets and polishing the frets and the rolling the ends and everything. I mean, it's really smooth. You don't feel anything on there. You don't get any, you know, resistance on the strings when you're playing. Same thing on the lead 3. They were both the same. Very impressed with the fretwork. You know, I got a feeling they got some kind of machine that they're running these through that, you know, it's really just taking care of smoothing those sides off and everything. But who knows? I mean, it could be doing it all by hand, but I seriously doubt it. But you know, the wood's nice. It's not as pretty. I mean, I'm trying not to get anybody dizzy here, but you know, you look at that old nice rosewood there. I mean, that's, you know, that's some good stuff, man. That's good. It's got really good tone. feels really good, looks good. You know, you just love to play that thing. Well, I do anyways. You know, the nuts are similar. It says, you know, artificial bone or synthetic bone or whatever on these new ones, which is, you know, going to be plastic. So I don't know what was on the original. I'll tell you that one there sure looks like real bone though, but that might have been replaced. You know, this guitar, I didn't say it's not 100% original. Yeah, that pickup is an original pickup there. That you know that belongs in this guitar. It's the right pickup for the guitar, but it didn't come in the guitar. And I think this pick guard is not original either, but the rest of it should be original. But I think I got springs on, yeah. So I got some springs on those saddles rather than the nuts. I had the nuts somewhere to put on there if I want to, but you know, but that's the original pickup there, and this is an original style pickup, but you can see that it's, you know, it's not actually you know, old like this one. This one is really old, you know. You know, and it's original neck and everything, original tuners, all that kind of stuff. I got a feeling these tuners are probably the modern F tuners that you can buy, as opposed to the ones that came on here were a little bit different. You know, when people say, you know, the vintage F tuners or whatever, they're not the same as the ones that you buy now. In fact, I think, I'm not sure, but I think the original ones were made in Germany. I don't think there's any evidence of it on here, but I think if you take those covers off underneath of there, and it's been a long time since I had one of those apart, but I'm pretty sure that those are German tuners, and the tuner shafts are actually shorter on those tuners than they are on the ones that you buy now in the store. I mean, the ones you buy now are okay, but the side play on them is not nearly as tight as it is on the originals, and you know, I'm sure it stays in tune. Well, I mean, I've been playing them both, and they definitely seem to be staying in tune. But you know, it's not the same as the original. And you know, these string trees, you know, they're decent. I'm trying to stay in focus here. All right, you know, they're decent, you know, but they're you know, as far as compared to the original ones, but you know, not quite as good. I mean, you see the original ones there, and yeah, I wish I could maybe find some way to measure that to show you, but you know, it's something that I found out the hard way. Now, I mean, as far as oh, and the other thing too is the new bodies, they have a little bit of a contour there, right? And I think the lead 3 is a little less. Lead 3 contour is a little less than my particular lead 2 here. I mean, if you compare that to the lead 3 right here, look at that. I mean, it's a big difference, nowhere near the amount of contour. You know, but it's still comfortable. I mean, they're both comfortable to play. I got the lead 3 came first, and you know, I had that for 3 days before the lead 2 came, and you know, I was playing the crap out of that thing. Really liked it. So you know, and when I first started playing this lead 2, I thought, well, you know, I'm not too sure, because you know, the pickups in this original lead 2 were something special. Anybody that knows something about the lead 2 pickups that are in here, you know, there's some pretty special pickups, and you know, these are decent pickups, but they're you know, they're not the special pickups over here, which are very expensive and very hard to find. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about the original Seth Lover square pickups anyways. I mean, the output on them is so high that, you know, you have to pull them away from the strings pretty far. They get pretty, I don't know, you get a sound in there that I don't really care for sometimes, you know, on the high end. And you know, I think that these humbuckers, you know, I think it just says player humbuckers. I'm not really that familiar with those, but I like the way they sound, and maybe better than the original Seth Lover pickups. You know, and I like Duncan pickups and Bill Lawrence pickups, those kind of things. That's my kind of taste that I like. So you know, it's yeah, maybe sounds something kind of like a Duncan or something. I don't know. But at any rate, I like them. So not sure what else I could tell you. You know, I'd be glad to play some of them a little bit, take some of them apart, if I get enough people interested in looking at the videos and you know, commenting. And so for now, that's going to be it.